Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Madden Football on EA Sports. On tap is what should be a pretty good matchup between the New York Jets and the New England Patriots. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
From the area known as Patriot Place, EA Sports set for football at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it, this crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the New York Jets and the New England Patriots. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, we look at this Patriots team entering play. And losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Jets, they come in at an early crossroads here, facing a tough opponent on the road where a loss would make them 0-3.
And when you start that way, doubts really start to creep into a locker room, and guys start to battle each other instead of worrying about winning games.
Two weeks have come and gone. It's off to week 3, and we're underway on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. And out will come the leader of this offense, and that, of course, is their signal caller.
It's pretty much become the norm when we see guys come out before a game and go through the route tree with their receivers. I thought it was exciting for us to see the exact same thing happen in practice.
He's so meticulous, isn't he?
He really is, and that tells me it's not just a one-time-a-week thing. They work on it all the time, trying to hone that fine edge. They want to see if they can get in sync and stay in sync in this one.
4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. The offensive starters now for the Jets.
I don't know about you, but I love a good undrafted free agent success story. So let's take a look at Robbie Anderson, wide receiver, because in 2017, 63 catches, 941 yards, and a strong candidate for the Pro Bowl. Didn't quite get there, but was knocking on the door. How about that for an undrafted free agent out of Temple, now making good in the NFL?
The starters defensively now for the Patriots, and they've been excellent against the pass, the number 6 unit in the NFL.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, they'd easily move into the top 5.
He's got his man. That's Wallace. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 10 yards is the pickup. Good enough for a Jet first down.
Tighten up. Pull it together. Check 52.
That one complete to Anderson. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
Check, 47. And let's get this.
On second down, it's Howard. And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46. They'll set up a throw. Open man is Anderson. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Patriots' 32-yard line. So into Pat's territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. They run with Ford. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Got his man there. It's Wallace complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Usually see those guys out wide get called for holding on running plays. Here, a passing play.
Yeah, sometimes when you get this quick screen, bubble screen, anything where they're having to block for their fellow receiver, usually at the point of attack, and this time he got caught.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Now they're coming up on play number 8 of this opening drive, but they're looking at a 3rd and long. They'll set up to throw. And he goes down. It's a Patriots sack. Harrison Smith on the safety blitz, able to get the sack.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
So out come the Patriots here to get their first shot on offense. They'll be led out by the former Mississippi State product, the mobile quarterback, Dak Prescott.
And the numbers were not pretty. I mean, they don't look right. When you throw 2 interceptions, no touchdown passes, there's no way to really make that work. But I thought there were a lot of positives in watching his game tape. I think he's close to putting out a good performance. Let's see if he can flip those numbers around in this game. And, of course, rally his team to a win.
Well, here's a good way to kick off a drive, complete over the middle. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 4 catches, 82 yards.
And that was a nice job there pulling that one in. Now, this is an offense that will certainly spread the ball around a bit, and this is a guy that defenses had better focus on.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
On 3rd and 1, here's Prescott. And that is incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. And New York set to take the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
On 2nd down now, it's Howard. And he's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards. An extra corner comes on now for the Patriots D on 3rd down. They're going to look to throw. Well, the 2 men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down.
Good work, boys. Let's go. Let's go.
The Pats at the line, ready to go. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
Watch the ship. Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship.
This is Michelle on the counter. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34.
That's a gain of 6. Brings up 3rd and 1.
3rd and short yardage. Prescott. And that will be incomplete.
Prescott's pass intended for Nikhil Harris.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. He's going to find his tight end. That's Chris Herndon. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. The numbers for him from a week ago: 5 catches, 64 yards.
Better tighten up the coverage if you expect to slow this guy down, because if he gets going, he'll eat you up.
On the ground, it's Ford. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
So into Pat's territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. He'll look to throw. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. 2nd and 10. That is incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a 1st down.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. And this is their 3rd drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a 1st down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a 1st down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
And he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25. From the 25 on 2nd down, Prescott, and he's got him. Got his man on the end route, complete. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Give him 15 yards on that one, and New England has a 1st down. 1st down, Prescott. And incomplete there, almost picked off. That's one you maybe expect your roaming free safety to come up with. But it's 2nd down. On 2nd down, Michelle. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. On 3rd down, it's Prescott. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. That's the 3rd time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the 1st quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. And the Jets set to take the field. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
Call that a very strong gain of 24. Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. On second down, it's Ford. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be third down. Out of the gun now on third down. And that is incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point, and they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet. You're trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
We're scoreless after 1. Start of the second quarter from Foxborough. It's the homestanding Patriots with the football as they're looking at a second down and 9 to go.
Bring it. Bring it. Shift. Watch the shift.
Off the draw, here's Michelle. Solid move, but he's corralled just beyond the 40. New England on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for it. Here's Michelle. And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. That'll be a New England first down, a gain of 12.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
A run on first down, but it's not going to get him much. Maybe a yard, and that's all. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. On 2nd and 9, Prescott.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. So a couple of first downs on this drive, but it's looking like another empty possession.
And those empty possessions are certainly starting to pile up. So the adjustments that teams talk about all the time have to be taking place. They've got to analyze what's breaking down and figure a way to fix it.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
New York set to take the field. Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes a better punter may actually determine the outcome.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom, quick, and what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
The Jets on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. They'll set up the screen to Howard. And he'll get this to the 23, but that'll be well short of what he needed. Needed more than 3, but that's all they got. And it's 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
That's it, baby. We're going to work.
Now the Patriot offense set to take over again. We've seen both of these offenses still sort of in that figuring things out phase, but I suspect some action on the scoreboard soon as they start out here 1st and 10. This drive starts out on the ground with Michel. And just not a ton of room to work with. He'll get it to the 15 for a gain of 2.
Hey, slow down. It's 2nd and 8 at the 15-yard line.
On 2nd down now, Michel. And he'll be taken down at the 18. The Jets will bring in a nickel set as they try to stop this 3rd down. Here's Prescott. And he can't quite intercept it. Zone coverage, free safety was there. Couldn't come up with it, and now it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. New York set to take the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
2nd and 4. And that is incomplete here. He was looking for Josh Reynolds that time. And it's 3rd and 4. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Back to throw here. Found his target. It's Anderson. And he's got the 1st down as he's up to the 45-yard line. 3rd catch of this 1st half for him, and this one is a 1st down. This quarterback now 9 of 16 through the air as he's got it 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here. He's able to find Wallace. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 14 yards is the pickup there and a Jet 1st down. On 1st down, they run with Howard. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. Draw play to Ford. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. The Jets on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 10. Looking to throw. He's got Herndon, his tight end. And they'll get him down at the 34, and he's going to be short of the 1st by a few yards. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the 1st down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. They begin with Michel on the ground. He finds an opening past the 40, and he'll take it to the 43-yard line. 14 yards is the pickup there, and a New England 1st down. On 1st and 10, Prescott gets this into the hands of N'Keal Harry. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. That'll be a New England 1st down, a gain of 12.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
And he's going to get this down close to a 1st at about the Jets' 35. Now it's a bootleg with Prescott. And that will be incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
That's on target, but it's no good. He had it on line, but it came up just shy of the crossbar. And this score will stay right where it is. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. Here's the Jets punter now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement. Down on the scoreboard, maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? That goes as a gain of 11 and a Patriot first down. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
On third down, Michel. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. Third and medium, they opted to run instead of pass, and it worked. First down.
There are a lot of different formulas to winning football, but one constant over the years, winning on third down. That pickup there was big because they had struggled throughout this one.
And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Michel, and only able to get 2 here, stopped at the 30. Now the Patriots will use the second of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. From the 30 on second down, Prescott gets this into the hands of the tight end Higbee. The Patriots into the red zone for the first time. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17. And he's going to have the hook up here with Harry.
Holding offense.
So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time. And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
The Patriots will take their 3rd and final timeout as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. 8th play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on 3rd down. Prescott to throw it. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the first half. Seibert able to knock this one through. And that will tie things up as we head toward halftime. So a late 3 there, and that'll help as they head into the break.
Talk about situational football and something they've worked on since the OTAs and mini camps the previous summer. They take care of the ball, get 3 points, knowing they're going to get the ball to start the second half. That's the old 2-for-1 special to finish things off.
Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. So we've reached halftime in a low-scoring affair, just a pair of field goals. 3-3 is our score. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Time to give you folks at home a look around the NFL on this first official weekend of fall. So let's get to it. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been as tight as we expected, all tied through one half of play. For the call of the second half, let's get it back to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Second half ready to roll. 2 field goals, the combined output in half number 1. Could be first touchdown wins. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. So mark off the yardage for roughing the passer.
And I've seen this before. On a screen pass, not only are you rushing the passer, you're rushing him deeper than normal. And I think a little frustration kicks in at the end. You're going to hit him anyway when you shouldn't.
A bit of an opening there on the first down run as they get this forward for about 6 yards. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. They'll run. It's Sanders. He'll get 3 up to midfield.
Yeah, baby. 57, Mike 57.
Hey, watch that. Hey, watch the ball.
Prescott now from the 50. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Sack lunch, baby.
Well, they only had a yard to go. They try to pass the football. Defense blitz. Defense got there.
Yeah, I think on this one, this is probably good scouting, understanding a few tendencies, and figuring out that, hey, they may take a shot, and they dialed up the pressure and got to him.
And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. So here's the Jets offense now as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. Their defense did its job, yielded no points. Now it's the offense's turn.
And how much fun is that when you set things up to start a half and you just tell you guys, hey, if you can shut them down, get it back for our offense, we can roll. And they played out perfectly. Now, can the offense do what they wanted to do at the half, which is find those weaknesses and now attack them and score some points.
And break this tie. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On the delay, it's Howard. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. It's a gain of just 3, and the offense likely going to yield to the punting unit here on 4th down. Here's the Jets punter now as he's on to kick it away. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. New England with a first down as they begin the drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time. Prescott from the gun on third. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Patriot first down.
Mike is 59. Mike to 59. Right here, right here.
Now a first down carry. It's Michel. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
Watch tight end.
It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4.
On 2nd down and 4. Prescott throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down.
Tight end. 3 down, 3 down. Hey, check. 3 down.
Prescott from the gun. And this is going to be incomplete.
Intended for Sonny Michel. Incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. This one will sail out of bounds. It'll depend on the spot here. And the side judge says that went out at the 7-yard line. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
Rush in.
They'll begin the drive with Howard. And he will lose yardage here back to his own 6. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
And now a pass dumped off to his running back. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. And give him 9 yards on the 2nd down screen play. On 3rd down, Ford. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
So possession goes over here on the punt, and the Patriots take over. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now a throw over the middle, and he's got it to start the drive. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. It'll be a Patriot first down on a pickup of 16.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Prescott gets it to Meredith complete. And that's going to be another 1st down as the tackle made at the Jets' 22-yard line. Prescott now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. And again, it's Prescott. And he's got his man on the out route. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. That goes as a gain of 11 and a Patriot first down. On 1st down, Michel. And here he'll get it down to the 7. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. To throw on 2nd and 6, Prescott. Escaping the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. He'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's third down. Third and short yardage, Prescott. And this is caught. Touchdown, Patriots. From 4 yards out, and the Patriots have taken the lead. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening, but they found the opening and exploited it.
And a pause in the action because the booth, they see something that they want to take another peek at to find out if this was a touchdown or not.
Touchdown, Patriots. Austin Seibert on for the point after.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for, and this touchdown will count. Extra point by Seibert, up and good, and the lead is now 10-3. Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Jets offense now works their way back onto the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working and call more of that.
Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. This is Ford. And he'll be brought down right on the 50, a gain of 3. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. And Anderson's got it. Anderson loses the football, and it's picked up by the Patriots. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free, anything you can do to slow them down.
Dak Prescott of the offense heading back onto the field. How do you break down his game so far? Just the one touchdown pass, but sometimes the touchdown pass stat category, that doesn't tell the whole story.
It really doesn't, not until you balance it with the error side, and in this case, he hasn't thrown any interceptions. So a lot of people would call this almost a pedestrian game, kind of a bus driver game. But that's just really wrong. Being a bus driver is a good thing if you're running a football team because that means you're in control and you're taking your team to the right places.
Yeah, he's been pretty solid. And a second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. On third down, it's Prescott. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down. This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Line of scrimmage, the 31, as they line up 2nd and 10. Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. To Michel on the dump-off. And his bid for the first down coming up short as he's tackled at the 25.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Seibert's kick is good. And they will stretch their lead to 10 now at 13-3. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The New York set to take the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. They'll set up the screen to Howard. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Here's the Jets punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Now Sanders. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
And the ball is knocked out, and it's scooped up by the Jets. Now as we look down, it appears we've got a Jet shaken up on the play. We'll get a report when we return to Foxborough.
52 right here. Watch QB drop. Watch QB drop. He's coming.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Jordan Howard that time. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. Only a yard there. Sniffed out well defensively, and it brings up 3rd. This defense tightening up a bit. That last catch just 1 yard, making it 3rd and 9. They'll look to throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And they'll get this down to the 10. 11 yards on the pickup there.
Let's go.
And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
Give them a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Keep playing.
Here's 2nd and 8. And he's got it. And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. Robbie Anderson, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. So very late in the game here, but with that score, some light at the end of the tunnel.
There's still hope. Now they look at the score and say, hold on a second. This thing's not over yet. Let's keep battling.
Now the extra point. And he puts it through. They're within 3. It's 13-10.
Next to score, Patriots 13.
So that drive spanned 5 plays. And it's finished off by a New York Jets touchdown. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Pats at the line, ready to go. Now, Charles, of course, you got to remember, last possession they fumbled. It led to a touchdown. One-score game here. Got to be careful.
And this is where coaching and training really comes into play, doesn't it? What does everyone say after an error? Next play, move on, next drive. That mantra has to come to the front. They've got to take care of business right here and act like the last series just didn't happen.
On second down and 4, Prescott. His throw incomplete. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on second down. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. And he'll get that to Michel, complete. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. Give him 3 on the play, and it'll be 4th down. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
We play to win. Let's go.
So out now come the Jets. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. And I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. Do they want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. The loss of 3 on that first down pass play, now 2nd and 13. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Back to throw here. He's got his man. That's Wallace. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. They give him 27 yards on the 3rd down conversion.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete. He was trying to find his tight end, Chris Herndon. That'll bring up 2nd down. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. The intended receiver, Josh Reynolds. And that'll make it 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. They'll look to throw here. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll take this to the 47, but no further as they get him down well short of the line to gain. Now the screen only good for 3 that time, and it'll bring up a 4th down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Come on.
They'll run on 1st down. Michel. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Again, it's Michel. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
24 is the mic. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call.
Roughing the passer, defense.
Boy, tight game like this, 4th quarter, personal foul penalties, a no-no.
Yeah, we know the emotions are running high. The tensions are the same. Who can control them best could ultimately win it.
Oh, Prescott stripped. So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
Following the penalty, Michel. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
A loss of a yard. Brings up second down.
Throwing on second and long. Prescott. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So flag for the contact, pass interference.
And I know that you're going to look at me and roll your eyes, and rightfully so, because you know what I'm going to say. Doesn't the defender have a right to the football as well?
No, I don't like defenders.
That's because you spent too much time with me. Okay, I'll side with you on this one. This is the correct call.
On second down, Michel. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10.
Here we go.
Prescott from the gun on 3rd. And able to find Higbee. It's complete. And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 17-yard line. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. They'll turn to Michel as they go back to the ground. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. 8th play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on 3rd down. Throwing, Prescott. Catch is made by Harry. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden, they're down.
Come on, fellas.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They'll wind up losing a full 10 yards on the play. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. They'll drop to throw. Got his man there. It's Wallace complete. They get 14 yards, but not enough for the first down due to the previous penalty.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They're going to look to throw. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Give him 12 yards there, and the Jets have a first. He'll look to throw. He's got Herndon, his tight end. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. They come up on a 2nd down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire. Now a pass taken in by the tight end Herndon. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Patriots 23. Back to throw.
This defense.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Javon Hargrave, the D tackle, getting the sack. He's back to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. He'll look to throw. Found his target. It's Anderson. And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. Robbie Anderson in the final minute, as they are now an extra point away from perhaps stealing one here in the final minute. Now they can boot it through on the always important extra point, and then their defense has to hold up their end of the bargain.
And there's something that you've pointed out in numerous games that we've worked. Okay, the excitement's going on. Everyone's celebrating over there. Who's calling up the defense to make sure they're focused, because they still have some work to do?
A very important extra point there, up and good, and that is going to put them on top by a point, and it sets us up for quite a finish. So that drive goes 8 plays, and it ends with a Jet touchdown. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. So Dak Prescott in the offense. Down 17-16, 50 seconds to go. They've surrendered a double-digit lead but can rescue themselves late as they come up on first down. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Second and 10 now from the 27.
That's right, baby. They don't want it. Switch.
Now Prescott. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. They'll look to throw. Completes this one to Meredith. That goes as a gain of 11 and a Patriot first down. They got exactly what they wanted there. Out route, catch, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
And I have to criticize defense here because you know the situation. You want to keep them inbounds and have the clock run. So I'm sitting on the outside portion of the field and not letting them throw an out route. Throw anything inside and I'll make the tackle. An out route? That's not the way you're supposed to play it.
Back to throw. He'll check this one down to Michel. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts as the clock stops with 23 seconds to go in the game. Now Prescott, and he can't hang on to it. That would have sealed it. Instead, second down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now Prescott. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now. The intended receiver, Sony Michel. And now it's 3rd down. Prescott now from the 50. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Here we go.
Now Prescott on 4th down. He's going to let it fly. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And this defense will take over right at midfield. And now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game.
3 down, 3 down.
And they'll indeed take a knee. So it's a victory here for the New York Jets. And it took a big 4th quarter to do it, but they were able to get the job done, and that's the bottom line.
No doubt about it. And let's face it, they had to be more than nervous in the 4th quarter. But a lot of that was their own doing. I think you observed during the game, their energy level just didn't seem to be there. But in the fourth quarter, somehow they dug deep and found that extra bit, right, that reserve tank. They hauled it out. Offense scored some points, defense held them, and lo and behold, they walk away with a win. Maybe expend a little more energy than they expected to, but they'll take it.
So for the Jets, they're into the win column now as they move to 1-2 on the young season. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Patriots, they will fall to a similar mark at 1-2. And they'll try to get back on track next week as they head to Dallas to take on the Cowboys. So that's a wrap. For Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. And with that, we say so long from Foxborough.